Case title, Leo on Gerundar versus People of the Philippines, GR number 26184, August 7th, 23. Doctrine. A public officer may be held liable as an accomplice to the crime of direct bribery if there is sufficient evidence proving that the individual cooperated knowingly in the execution of the crime, although not as the principal offender. Even if conspiracy is not proven, participation in acts that contribute to the crime can lead to criminal liability as an accomplice. Facts. Leo I. Gerundar, an Administrative Aide III, and Atty. Aurelio M. Diamante, Jr., acting Registrar of the Registry of Deeds of Negros Oriental, were charged with direct bribery. The charge stemmed from a transaction involving Atty. Federico C. Cabilao, Jr., who sought the issuance of a certificate of title over a parcel of land. Gerundar introduced Atty. Cabilao to Atty. Diamante, who allegedly demanded $50,000 from Atty. to Cabilao in exchange for facilitating the issuance of the title. Atty. to Cabilao later sent $50,000 to Gerundar, who delivered the money to Atty. Diamante. When the title was not released, Atty. to Cabilao sought a refund of the bribe, which was returned by Gerundar. The trial court found both Gerundar and Atty. Diamante guilty of direct bribery. On appeal, the Court of Appeals modified Gerundar's criminal liability, finding him guilty as an accomplice to the crime of direct bribery, rather than as a co-principal. Gerundar then filed a petition before the Supreme Court, arguing that the information failed to allege facts sufficient to hold him liable as an accomplice. Issue 1. Whether Gerundar was properly convicted as an accomplice to the crime of direct bribery despite being charged as a principal. 2. Whether the elements of being an accomplice were sufficiently established in the case. Held. The Supreme Court upheld the conviction of Leo Gerundar as an accomplice to the crime of direct bribery. It ruled that although Gerundar was charged as a principal, he could still be convicted as an accomplice based on the evidence presented. The variance in the degree of participation does not absolve him from liability, as the prosecution established that Gerundar knowingly cooperated in the act by receiving and delivering the bribe money to Atty. Diamante. The court found that Gerundar had full knowledge of the criminal intent and that his actions directly aided in the execution of the crime. The defense that he was merely following orders was rejected, as he had alternatives to refuse involvement or report the matter to authorities. Disposition, wherefore, the petition is denied, and the Court of Appeals decision is affirmed with modification. Leo I. Gerundar is found guilty beyond reasonable doubt of direct bribery as an accomplice. He is sentenced to an indeterminate penalty of imprisonment of 4 months and 1 day of arresto mayor as minimum to 1 year and 8 months of prison correccional as maximum. He is further ordered to pay a fine of $50,000.